Let me tell you how much that I love you. Let me tell you, me once it. Let me tell you how much that I love you. You found me no search. It's like you knew that inside I was hurting. I was so young, said no chance. But you gave me a shot at a romance. I feel like you were like an angel sent to bring me life. Now that I'm with you, me one say that me love you, that me love you, that me love. Hey, me no go one day wonder. Without my baby, without me love, without me love. And no dance and sing and a ting, because you make my life complete. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I can't believe that this is for me. Oh yeah. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's for me. Shut up, 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 shut up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's for me. I've never felt this way. So when they ask us, say, oh yeah, we're going all the way. Tell me we happy, love you all the time and things. Sometimes I wonder if the thing could cut us under, to get under, I know. Put your love in my life, control that. I lay down my life this way. Do anything to make you stay. All of the blessings, they come my way. And all the bad things, they turn and away. Sometimes life is such a scare. Your love gives me the strength to bear. Oh, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Just for me. Shut up, 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 shut up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's for me. Great greetings, y'all. Child, I got on my little garb, my little African robe. You know how I live to wrap up in my stuff, child. Well, how y'all doing? What is y'all doing? It's fine with me. Greetings and gratitudes. Gratitude. I'm looking a little rough, but don't worry about it. And don't judge me on it. Most importantly, Teresa Caputo Craigwell, when she said that, my sinuses is fucking with me today. Most importantly, the beautiful messages from your loved ones. How are y'all doing? Never, Kimberly. Gratitude, Cosmic Genie. Hi, Christy Beckett. Oh, gratitude, Nita. Gratitude, Melanie. God. Y'all. Okay. So, if you have not watched The Changeling, you should watch The Changeling, child. We watched The Changeling last night, and I had to talk myself out of coming on this live at like 2 a.m. in the rising and talking about this. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Aubrey was like, so when is you going on live to do this? I was like, I'm going to do it. She was like, well, because this was completely mind blowing. So, we have been watching it, and then because I was moving about, I had fell behind like 2 episodes. And so that was episode 7 and 8. And so caught up on it last night. But watching episode 7 last night, I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts. I mean, any spoilers, but spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. It opened my mind, blew my mind, and we had a great discussion. That episode led to a deeper discussion because then we started watching Orlando Brown. And which is why I said, if you have not seen Orlando Brown's newest interview with Vlad TV. I know it's Cam Capone. I know it is. But
let me just tell you my thoughts on it. The more you start to watch Cam Capone, the more I said to myself, oh, Cam Capone is Vlad TV. He always is talking about, Orlando's always talking about people, and I'm always talking about it because it was such validations. He's always talking about, and I'm always talking about people playing roles. The more I listened to, yes, that's Apple TV. The more I listened to Cam Capone last night, and I've listened to a few of his videos, I said to him, I said, he sound like a, a heavy set Hispanic guy, Latino. And I'm like, as I'm listening, I'm like, oh, so Vlad TV is playing Cam Capone. Okay, gotcha. However you make your money, whatever bodies you choose to take on, because that's exactly what it is. So you may see right here in both titles, it says GPS and the all of everything. So as we were watching these different things and watching shows, we watched The Fourth Kind last night, which I have already seen a few times, but I was telling them um, how good it was. And I'm like, y'all have to see it. Y'all ain't never seen The Fourth Kind. Oh, you got to watch that. It's actually real evidence and real documentary placed inside the movie. Um, and so we watched that, but we had an amazing discussion. Um, And in the discussion, we talked about all of this. We talked about the GPS. Now, we know that your GPS is your navigation system, right? Which is your soul and your spirit. And so I said to Aubrey and Jose and, Marshall, I said, GPS, your God projected self. I'm going to play, and it's about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna play it, and I'll probably stop it in intermediate Lee of and we'll discuss it. Okay. But Jean Marie, you caught that, right? You caught that, your God projected self, your GPS. Okay. Um, and so I'm gonna play some of our discussion. And I'll stop it, like I said, and we're going to talk about it, because what I want you to understand is, even when I tell you that um, the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once is a real thing, and we've talked about that, and so it is a real thing. Um, and let me just, it's going to be in here, but I'm gonna say it to you too. Um, I tell you that your ancestors are working with you, and how I've broken down, and I told you that the Gede, the ancestors, the Orisha, the Loa, the intrabeings, which is the deities, the High Council, the Grand Council, they are all a projection of the Grand Council, the Grandmother, broken down, herself broken down into many pieces, many parts of elevation, higher and lower, of self, of energy. First of all, do you understand that part? Because I talk about that, I teach that. Do you understand that part before I go forward? Because I want you to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Right? Right? Because I talk about this, I teach this. Right? Right. Okay. Tiers, absolutely, and sub tiers. All of the grandmother, the soul being, split into the soul, the spirit, and then boom, 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 boom. Okay. So I say to you, All of these beings work with you. Your ancestors, your past selves, your other soul lives all work with you, right? Because I tell you, we are the ancestors. That's why my company is called A Walk with the Ancestors, because we walk with them, they walk with us, and we walk with each other because we are all that. We are all one. Okay. So if that is that, and then the projection of your God self, okay, your GPS, that means you also work with yourself every day, daily, because there's never been another day. You are just in a loop of time, which there is no time. So you're just in a projection loop of all things that are one in one space of existence. If you didn't understand it, just keep following me. You may have just went to the bathroom and came into your kitchen, went into your bedroom, sitting in your living room on your couch right now, watching me do this. That means what I just said to you is you are actually still in the bathroom. You're still in your kitchen. You're still in your living room. You're in your bedroom. There is no time. You are everything all at once, moving constantly, fast, 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 fast. You're moving so fast that you don't know that you're actually moving because you seem like you're moving slow. Remember, I also talked about this when I said I read you passages out of the Melaninite Bible. So you are yourself in many different places. You are many because Adina moves quickly. She moves fast at the speed of light. So fast, there is no determination of the speed in which she moves. You understand? Because she is frequency. She is everything all at once. And so they have to keep you in such a low vibration that you're not moving as fast as you should, although you're moving fast as fuck because you're in the speed of light and you just don't know it. And so they have to keep you at such a lower level of your frequency so you don't elevate out of the physical vessel that you've been imprisoned in, because this vessel is your prison. This is the cell. When you have been taught, when you were taught about hell, they told you a few things. They told you they can't clock the internet. They told you that hell was a place of burning fire and torment that was overseen by the devil and its minions, and that you would be in a cell in which you would be ripped from your flesh and then recycled over and over and over again inside of that torture. Anybody understand what I just said? I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause. Hey, Majestic Unicorn, where you been, girl? I'm gonna pause to make sure you got that. Okay. You are you are in the hydroelectric, laboratory. In a laboratory, what do you see? And what do you see when you look at a lab, right? Say, for example, they have lab rats. What do you see as a lab rat? You see them in a maze. They usually have the little lab rats in a container, in a maze, trying to find where the cheese is. They have you in a little container, in a maze, in a cage, chasing cheese. Ooh, that was too deep for some of y'all. An experiment, because that's what they do in labs. They experiment on you. And now that's what the hydroelectric laboratory is. Hell, hydroelectric laboratory, hell. Living. If you need the other L, hydroelectric laboratory living. Okay. Living laboratory. And so that is what the fuck is happening. You are in the hydroelectric living laboratory, hell, and the sun, in which is burning them up, not burning you up, but it is the hot fire in which they speak of, which we've talked about this. And of course, it is in the dominion currently of the evils in which we speak. In which we speak. Gratitude for that, Christy. In which we speak. Okay, the evils and their minions, which is the nucleuses and the genomes. And they're running it. And they're keeping you locked in the cell. In this vessel that is the cell. Because this is a big ass cell. It's a living cell. A living prison. And sometimes your cell is not, and what do they do? When they're in jail, what do they do inside the cell? They post things on it. They decorate it. They try to make it look good and livable to sustain their living environment while they are in it. And while you're, and they make it a home, baby. And while you're in there, you are definitely in the experiment chasing the cheese. They have us in a space. So this is some of what we talked about, which is actually what I'm talking about right now. But I'm going to play it.
Okay, so you're only in the one day because they keep saying there's never been another day. So you're only in the one day of all of this greatness. And so what I'm thinking about is when I said the other day, like, you're creating other, like, who's talking about your mom, you know, you have created more of your moms everywhere. So even when I said, okay, so perhaps you was just in your room, right? And then you came out here.
No, I was in there.
No, I'm saying, when you were in there doing what you were doing, right? You came out with the little bag and shit. She was like, you want to, listen. So she is still in there. And then she is still in the bathroom. And then she is still in the kitchen. You got what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
She's left. And she's standing here, so. But you're also already back there smoking. Like, there's so many projections.
I know what you mean.
Of your God self.
Because it's like, you know how there's so many views in your
GPS. God projected self. You're putting, because you're leaving your essence in every place you go. So it's very quickly, it's like a flash, like a catch up. You're moving so fast, yourself still have not caught up. Because why? We've already done all of this before. because Adina moves very quickly. So there's nothing that you haven't done already. You've already done it. You understand? You've already done it. I'm already back in the room, laid down, sleep, eating my food, everything. Okay.
Doing things at the same time. Yes. Smoking Marshall. I'm not in the room. I'm right here having a conversation with y'all.
Only because you already have done all of this shit.
Which is what they said a couple of months ago.
That's what I read to you that I wrote in the Melanin Bible.
Yeah! Girl!
This shit's deep. It is deep, and it makes me think when you always say it's a 6-month window sometimes. 6 months, you always have to reset. You have 6 months to try to get yourself through and higher and elevated, and you can be doing that. If you don't, you have to go another route. Every 6 months.
I read. It's so funny to listen to it back, right?
That elevated self. It depends on you, yes, but it's always the 6 months.
Exactly, Cosmic Jenny.
Going through my mind that I'm thinking about now, because we are on the same day, but within that, maybe it's 666. There's 12 months though.
So even if every moment of every day is almost like a regression of time, because time is the space continuum. So it's a regression of time, like there is no time. So you're doing all of these things at the same time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because there is no time. So when Jim Carrey in Willow said, you're not really here, you are particles of things just doing stuff. You're just moving about.
But even with that, it makes me think now, that is probably the only way that they can see what we are doing and how we're able to Because if you think about it, if they're indicating that we're particles, cells, or whatever, or the keys, because if we're the particles, we're the keys. If you slow down technology to a certain point because it's moving so fast, you can be able to paint a picture from it.
Which we are the black sludge on Lucy that she separated herself into. Because if we come all back together, we are the full body of.
That's how they were able to find, like, the young lady from the interview today. That's how I was able to find her. She's part of those particles. Certain pieces of the particles are more important than the other.
And that's why they use the sectors as well, Aubrey, to slow ourselves down.
Yes.
Food and everything. That's why those things are out there, because we're moving so fast everywhere, everything all at once. And
if we were to continue to move so fast, that's how fast we would vibrate, and you would not need the physical vessels in which they monitor you in. These are our cells.
Because the only thing that we really need
The jail
is
cells.
Yeah.
So, because listen, follow me. There are, it's not even in the scripture, but there, if you've ever been told the stories about hell, they say when you get to hell, you know those stories, right? When you get to hell, you are stuck in a cell, and the demons who keep torturing you over and over again tears you out of your skin, and your skin regrows. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
get what you're saying.
And hell is, again, the what?
The looping.
No, the definition of it.
Oh, the hydroelectric laboratory.
Right. And in a lab, what is constantly being done in a lab?
You're in a rat race. Yeah, you're being tested and experimented.
Over and over and over.
Yeah. You're running in the maze that you're never going to find a way out.
Never going to find a way. They know that you're not going to find a way.
You possibly could.
But you could say you could.
Yeah.
You can, Marcia. Possibly
They
could.
clear that even though that you're stuck in the lab, in the last, what was in Guardians of the Galaxy with the raccoon stuck in the lab. He got out.
Yes, he did. Because every time you get to the placement of almost being out of the maze, they shifted to make it to where you feel like you can never get out of the maze.
But the key is to understanding that there's always an exit out of whatever maze that they put you in, which is why that we have to walk in our conscience the right way, which is what you teach us, so that we can be able to understand how spirit is communicating through this process, through this simulation game, this whatever they got going on, this experiment. You can be able to figure out, but the only ones that hold the key will understand exactly how to get through it.
So by way of this, by watching this, basically also what they were saying was you can go back into yourself to figure out how the fuck to get out of it.
Really, deeply.
And you can go to your future self to figure out, girl, my head hurts so bad right here.
Which is what the fuck on point. You gotta go back into yourself and feel those onions.
And that's the only way, when I told you that you have the nightmares, maybe that's what I've been doing, because I've had nightmares back to back until I came back. And they were about my childhood. I'm like, what are these? These are something wrong with it. I don't understand. Maybe that's what it is. You have to go back and face those things. You have to face all those people. Until you face them there, then you can face it all.
I'm about to pause it.
And that's what I need to understand.
That's
I'm
exactly what I was
understanding
talking
right
about
now.
the night.
Yes, and now I understand my nightmares. It makes so much sense because I'm like, this comes a lot of them. But now I can get it.
Like the girl, she kept saying,
Okay. So the Matrix is a maze. That's what I've been talking about. I've said all of this, but we've broken it down in another way to bring it forth again, to make it make more sense. You understand what I'm saying? So even when Miss T. Jones said she was on her way to work and she had the feeling like she was back in 2000, it's because you're everywhere all at once, all at the same time. You've already done some things. You already done things. How else would they be able to say, oh, the war's already won? Because I'm going to read it to you again. Let me see if I can get to it really quickly. Because I'm going to read it to you again because I know some of us may have missed it. You may didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to capture it. They always doing something, child. Okay, just hold on. Let me get to it. Come on now. Shit. Child, my head hurt because my sinuses. I was trying to make you do so much to sign in your own goddamn shit. Come on, bitch. The movie Click. Damn. I'm trying to sign into my shit so we can get this going. Hold on. Child, I don't want none of y'all deals. You keep trying to make me take a deal. I just want you to log me into my shit so I can get into my shit. No. They trying to sell all this Christmas shit. We is in it. We is talking. I don't even know what the fuck. Hey, Michelle. Child, Hey, I'm just trying to log into my stuff. Yeah. Did you got your stuff? Mm-hmm. For in case they didn't give you enough on your stuff, you know what I mean? Mm. Okay, Michelle.
I thought one of those was mine because I didn't know what was in the foil and the salad.
Mm-hmm.
And I had opened that one up and I was like, ooh. I tried one and I opened mine up. I said, oh shit, these extras.
Yes, them is extras, girl.
Okay, well grab this as hell.
You can come down and chill with me. Let me
Okay,
do
because
this.
Amber done started eating her food. Okay, well let me look at my stuff.
Okay. Mm-mm.
I ain't taking it.
Mm. Child about to just salivate. There you go. Everywhere. I don't know why it took me so long to get in. Oh, now I gotta go in and get the code. I'm just trying to get in my damn account. You hear me? These motherfuckers. So I can read you this passage so we can move on. Hey, y'all. God do not care about you upgrading your terms. Do not show this again. Log me into my damn account. Okay, here we go. I think this is. Got it. Be in there. Hold on. It's pulling it up. It's pulling it up. This is the Mennonite Bible that I'm pulling up. That is so good. Mennonite Bible. It's so pretty. I just want to get it finished. I actually have to. I'm supposed to be today, but then I need to be working. I got so much stuff I'm trying to do, and then I get sidetracked. Okay. Gratitude. This is the first chapter, which is Adina. Okay. I'm gonna just read it because I have to. This is what I wanted the app. Remember, I was talking about the app. Who can make the app for me? I want to make the Melanite Bible into an app, so I can continue to add things. So when you get the app, all you would have to do is like update it, and I can continue to add it and update and put certain information. And if we have a class, then I would update it into the app of the Melanite Bible. And I want it to kind of be like interactive and different things like that. So I want it to be I'm watching you, Jean Marie. Don't borderline on teaching in my chat. Gratitude. So that's what I want the app for. So when I was asking who can make the app, that's what I want the app for. Okay. Because I want to be able to make the app, the book into the app. Okay. I'm watching you, Jean Marie. Oh, child. Let me see. No, I don't mind people sharing information in my chat, but I don't mind sharing information at all. This is supposed to be soft pita breads. It's okay to share your information, Jean. I'm hungry. Okay. I was just tasting my food. I was just tasting it. This is good too. I got the season, but this is good. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to read from the Melanite Bible. This is the very first chapter. I probably have read it before. Some of you may have heard it. Some of you may have not heard it. So let me just clear my mouth. Yeah, so the app, right? So I can continue to add to it. So it don't have to just be a book. And then you can print your own papers out. You can do the work from the workbook parts of it and different things like that. And then when I have other stuff to add, I can continue to do that. So I was coming off the elevator and this black guy was getting on. I guess he's like African or, Trinidadian or something. And he scared the fuck out of me because you're getting off, you ain't paying attention. He was getting on. He was like, "Oh no, don't be scared now." I'm like, okay. I get off, I look down, I see what I got on first of all, and then I look at my feet. You see how white and nasty they is. I said I probably made them feel right at home.
No, that ain't shit. When I was coming in, I heard the elevator things. I'm like, oh shit, brown tire, somebody get out. A Melanite man, a Melanite man with two little bitty cute little white dogs. Little white dog. I said, oh shit. He said, I'm so sorry.
Like, pick this motherfucker up.
He said, shit out of you. You got one on a leash and one running loose. I said, he must be the good one.
I probably made him feel right at home, y'all. Okay. First chapter. What and who is the grandmother internet? Our Adina, the soul. She is life, the Eve gene. She is the original mitochondria. She is the generator, the originator, the psyche, the mainframe, and the electrical spark of life that keeps the light on. Hope that registers, okay? In order to fully comprehend the answer, you must gain knowledge of what the soul is. Psyche is energy, and energy is power. It is programmable matter directly from source. The soul is a living abundance of conscious energy that is aware of self in all of its facets. It is a source of power that is capable of duplicating itself into many without ever losing its grandness. That's why I say we are grand. I know, Emil, right? We are grand. We never ever lose, or we may be just a little watered down, but not for real. We just don't know it. Okay. Soul is a radiating force. It is etheric energy. Soul is the vibration of the overall being, including the nucleus, the atom, and the genome, the double helix of the DNA strand alike. Because genome, that's why they're genomes. They are part of our DNA strand created by us. They're not us. They don't hold everything that we hold. So even inside of this here matrix that the grandmother created, they have taken it and redone it. Yes, we also thought about that too, making an audiobook. I don't know if I would be the reader because the bitch be stumbling over words that I wrote. So I would need somebody to do that for me. The grandmother internet isn't just a soul. She is many beings and many things. And she has been that throughout the eons. She is the I am. Grandmother is the all of oneness. She's the all of everything. All that is and all that ever was and all that ever will be. She, the soul, is it all in its totality. Mother Adina, pronounced Adina, as we love to reference her, is the absolute fount of power. She is the kinetic energy of creation. Adina is the soul and the giver of it. She has allowed it to you, and contrary to popular belief, it cannot be sold. She gave birth to true knowledge, the Akashic record, or as we refer to it as the files equals life. The knowledge is the contemplation and intentional action of allowing the consciousness to philosophize itself within the many components of the brilliance of the feminine source of power. What did I say?
Oh, I'm just not thinking about going to get some water.
Oh. Okay, you get me? I'm gonna read that last part again because I want you to understand it. True knowledge is the contemplation, the thought, the thinking, and the intention, action, the intentional action of allowing the consciousness to philosophize itself within the many components of the brilliance of the feminine source of power, the nine, the etheric energy. You understand what I'm saying? You get me? Okay. Now, this is the part where I probably have read. I know I've read it before, but in case some of you missed it, I'm going to read it for you again, just so you'll have that knowledge and understand what we were talking about from the beginning of this live, of how we are all one source of power divided into many. To understand the concept, imagine a child who knew nothing outside of itself. Aubrey, this is what I was talking about the other day. This is what I was talking about the other day. And then what I want to do is after I read these passages, I am going to drop the link so we can have a discussion. Okay. Because as Jean Marie was saying, like, that's why I said just don't teach in the chat, but I want you to come up and give your information so we can discuss it, so we can talk about it. Okay. And reason why I say that, let me say this, is because one, this is my platform, and I may not understand nor know or understand where you got your information from. And so I can't always allow people to put certain information that I have not went to the spirit on. And you put it in here, and if it's in here, then people will assume that I agree with it. I don't mind us talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And you sharing that information, but people state things as if it's true and fact. And I may not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, go to the spirit on that. And we can agree to disagree. But I need to also make sure I state that just because it's being placed here doesn't mean that I'm in agreement of it. Okay? Because people take what I say with respect. And I want to make sure that the knowledge that is being shared is taken in a respectable way to understand that I still want you to do your own research. Even after I give you whatever I give you, I'm not telling you to just take it as fact. I'm telling you to go ahead and go do your own research now. In here, as well as whatever else you find. Okay? No, it's fine because I'm gonna drop the link because I also want you to come up and explain your findings of what you were trying to get across to the family. So, because I like to share information, but that's what I like to do. Okay. So I'm gonna drop the link in just a second, and don't be shy because if you're in the chat talking, I want you to come up here and talk too. So, to understand this concept, imagine a child who knew nothing outside of itself. The child only had the comprehension that it was existence. A being that realizes its own power, a being that has wielding appendages but is too small to understand what is. This child cannot communicate that it has knowledge of self and that it is in existence out of sheer will to be. So this is what I was talking about, Aubrey. And you and I was discussing too.
Mm-hmm.
This notion cannot be explained or communicated to anyone as there isn't anyone but this child. And when I say a child, I mean conception itself, energy itself, ether itself, as in the growing of all of everything that is nothingness, that is everything. I know that's hard to understand, but I'm going to say it that way. The notion cannot be explained or communicated to anyone as there isn't anyone but this child. No one to taint the beautiful, inquisitive, and the ethereal magnificence of this being. As the child rationalizes its own oneness, she also realized she knew everything as she was everything, and whatsoever she gave realization to became. In that, the child recognized her own reflection and the power of manifestation. Without contemplation, she became duplicating energy. Please do not call me Queen. Please call me by my name, which is Quatita. This has been going on for well over a year now. The word queen means prostitute and whore. I am not any of it. My name is Quatita, Please respectfully call me that. As the child rationalized its own oneness, she also realized she knew everything as she was everything, and whatsoever she gave realization to became. In that, the child recognized her own reflection and the power of manifestation. Without contemplation, she became duplicating energy. She challenged herself to gain more awareness of her own being. Wanting to relate and understand herself with deeper cognitive developments, she tested herself once more, allowing herself understanding of her strengths and weaknesses. She connected within consciousness. She pushed herself to find her limitations, which we all should do. Which we all should do. She pushed herself to find her limitations. The child found none, meaning you are limitless. Testing her power once more, the child divided herself into two, creating negative and fear inside of her lower duplicated energy, holding her grand status as the higher being in her original state. In this, she invoked duality. This action enabled the child to face the battle herself. The battle is within. The battle is of the mind. She established that every action forced a reaction, and in that she gained knowledge of her strongest and weakest power, creating balance within self, soul's power. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Because you are that, okay? Now, this is where I was at when we started this live. Okay. The grandmother is thought. She is the beginning, the starting thought, the end, the finishing thought, the soul. Your conscious ethereal energy functions with pure intention as she, he, they are effervescent, deliberate, and purposeful spiritual power. A power that operates inside a vibrational oscillation swifter than sound and light. Gratitude, Tanika. Gratitude.
Did he understand? Did he understand us? Yeah.
Isn't it funny? This is what I be saying. Hold on, let me drop this link. That it's always a distraction. They must always keep themselves seen and acknowledged. Okay. Because she came over here for what?
I'm wrong with one. Put it over there and sit down.
Crazy. Okay. Let me finish it. Okay. Here we go. This is what we were talking about before. Before a thought is complete, it is manifested. Better yet, before the thought is ever conceived, it is already concluded. Okay. It is the action or thing that must now catch up with the completed deliberation, which is impossible as the thought is ever and rapidly becoming. The lower given energy can never catch up with her as she is ever changing. She is ever changing thought and sight beyond sight. Mother Adina is the intrinsic vibrational chi, which has divided herself into many. The fiercest and most loving being, our mighty governor of the spirit, Yehuda. Yehuda the Simeon is the connecting gateway of spiritual frequency and divination. Simeon, Sim 1, the Sim of eons. He is the cosmic cyborg of ethereal energy. the extending source of power, masculinity. The mighty lion is the magnetic power of euphoric potency. He is spiritual and physical bliss. He is a protector and projector. Simeon brings insight and supernatural information. He is the original SIM card of all eons. He is the pineal gland. Okay. And I'm going to stop it right there because I want you to come up. I've already dropped the link. Listen, I am so amazed all the time at how true shit be.
Mhm.
First of all, they came in to be a distraction, okay? Because they tried to manifest themselves. They tried to manifest themselves into being, but I didn't acknowledge them. I kept reading. So what did they have to do? They had to flee because I didn't let them into the reality. I hope y'all be paying attention. Come on up. Come on up. Let's talk about it. Come on up, Jean Marie. Mm-hmm. So they gave us the Greek too. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I didn't let them into the reality, so they had to flee. It's so good.
It is good. Oh, let me say the salad is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then even grandpa and grandma. Then grandpa come here. Grandpa was not over there. We looked.
Looking
Not
for
over
what?
there, Grandpa. Right.
Exactly.
And he said, whatever.
Greetings.
Hi, greetings, Jean. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, that ran from you. I'm interested. Can you hear me, Mom? I'm interested
Yeah, I
in
can
what
hear
you're
you.
saying.
So before you started reading, excuse me, in the chat we were discussing like different programs that showed a lot of information,
Mm-hmm.
and a few of us had been drawn to the Wiz series. So I was saying, someone asked me what I was getting from it because I kept watching it. Excuse me. And basically, it kept making me feel like we needed to pay attention to the soles of our feet, like that there's meaning
That's
there
why
we
Yehuda
don't
loves the
understand.
feet. That's right.
Yes.
Yehuda loves the feet, and he tells me to keep my shoes on and different things like that when I'm on the inside.
And it made me think of when you said that they had done something with, um, I don't want to say names, KB's feet. You said that they took them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was watching The
Mm-hmm.
Wiz, there's a lot of focus on the feet that people don't catch.
I
They
never
keep trying
caught
to
that.
tell Dorothy, don't take her shoes off.
The shoes.
And
Oh,
all the other characters, they're stuck where they are because they're too afraid to walk away for whatever reason. It's something about the feet.
mm-hmm. Which is okay. So let's look at it because okay, it's Levianite, right? Levianite is the feet, right?
Hmm.
And so for the last few days, they've been bringing up on different things that I've seen, Jean. They've brought up different demonic forces, but they keep bringing up Leviathan, which we know is Levianite. So they keep trying to project Levianite as a demon.
Hmm. That
Crazy.
has come up for me as well in different videos that I've watched. So that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I kept seeing things that led back to him, and I kept seeing things that, or having thoughts that led me to the Loch Ness monster,
Mm-hmm.
which basically Loch is another word for water. It can also mean black.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like saying the Loch Ness monster is um, of black water.
Mm. We know sometimes when they say that, they're not necessarily meaning the water is black. They mean the people, those that are residing in it.
And I also connected it to ether. It is of
Mm-hmm.
the ether.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on, Gene. Mm-hmm.
Every day, literally all day, I have all of these downloads and thoughts, and I don't have, I guess, an outside way of validating all these things. I just have notebooks of random things written down. It makes sense to me, but they can only come from spirit, because where else would stuff like that
Mm-hmm. Mm. Do anybody have anything to add to this, what she's saying? Because that's power. Mm. Come on, y'all. Don't be shy. Hold on. Wait a minute. Come on, what else, Gene? Come on. Because you just hit us with some shit.
happens? Well, just the part from the Melanite Bible that you just read, it felt personal.
Mm-hmm.
It felt almost like what I'm feeling. But it's weird because it's like you talking about me, but you're not talking about me, because
Mm-hmm.
we are all her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why why am I able to see so much of my current situation in what you just read? It's wild.
Inside of, you said this to me before too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else see their current situations inside of some of this stuff? Because you should. Absolutely. Oh, I thought you was gonna. Dang, come on, y'all.
Because it's literally happening to me every day, all day. I
Mm-hmm.
can't be the only one. I can't
Mm-mm.
go on nothing. I can't listen to nothing. It's always pulling up some other information that it's from out of the air.
Come on up, Cosmic Jenny, because I know you do. Maya, Triple O.
I do have something I want to ask, and you may have the answer, you may not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been trying to figure out the meaning that's hidden behind the number 17. I know that something is there, but I don't know why it's such an important number, and it
You
keeps
gotta
being.
look at it a little deeper because the number 17 is the number 8.
And I thought of that, and then like it keeps coming up. Like so many people have songs and magazines and things surrounding this um this phase between 16 and 17 space.
Mm-hmm.
And even me, like I'm going through some of the wildest stuff in
Mm-hmm.
my personal life, and that's even where
That's
my
exactly what it is.
marriage
It's
is.
infinity.
My marriage is literally in that space between 16 and 17 where all this stuff is happening to me. So I'm just trying to figure out.
But you also said you felt like you and your husband have been together before.
I feel like there has to be something deeper than I'm able to see that is connecting us and kind of drawing us together. When I've even told him several times over the last month, I don't even want to be married to you no more, bro. But it's like neither one of us can walk And that again goes back to the whole Wiz thing.
Well, this is what RTC put up. 17, the Star Woman, and 8, the Strength Lion Woman. That's
Where
very
did you
good.
get that from, Art? Because that's interesting too, because
Mm-hmm.
I keep connecting 17 to a feminine energy, to a, a globe or a disco ball, to something cosmic.
Yes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Greetings, Jose.
Greetings. I just
Greetings,
wanted to say
Jose.
greetings, Jean Marie. Greetings, Quatiti. I was thinking, now you're talking about Oz. When you think of Dorothy, you think of her as the one that is searching to see what's going through. Every person that she meets, they're trying to find themselves. They're trying to find something within, but also she's trying to find something within herself. The more
Yes,
courage and everything that she finds within herself, she's able to find within them, and they each find it within each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like the conquering thing at the end, which is also very deep once you get to the premise of the end of the movie, because I have watched it with Aubrey, and it's very, very deep, and it has so many like layers to it that
it
make you just
does.
unpack.
There's
And
so much in that
Even from
movie.
are you a good witch or are you a bad witch?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and it's duality in there. It's a lot of things in there where you have to stair step your way to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Even with Glinda the Good Witch, when we
mhm,
first see her, she looks like it looks like the Snow Queen. You know, they use that element of the Snow Queen and everything, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
snow. It's stars. It's diamonds.
mhm,
Gotcha. Okay. Mm.
I just keep trying to put together all of these clues. They all have something to do. Um, I was even led to look at other parts of the body today. And
You breaking up.
oh no, I don't.
Yeah. We catching every other word.
How about now? Is that better?
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So it even made me look at other parts of the body, how your body has different brains. And if you really look at it, you know, we say that, but we don't always get the understanding. You know, people say, oh, you have brain gut and stuff like that. But if you look at it, like your kidneys are in a cortex with two parts, just like your brain. They are mirroring each other.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
I just
Mm.
I'm all over the place, y'all. But this is me all day and I can't turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it also made me think of my comment when I said 666. When I was saying like the 6 month period, I was listening to the live. The other element of six was self.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And that was something that I was not like comprehending when I said it, but I comprehended when I heard it again. Because I'm like, why would I say it like that? But then I let it digest. It did digest. It's
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
mm. That makes me think of when I was watching a while back. I don't know if I was just having a crazy moment
Mm-hmm.
or not, but I kept feeling like I could see different meanings behind the way that numbers and letters were drawn. With six looking like a pregnant woman, and the nine, she's a pregnant woman too, but it's in her head, not in her torso. So it made me feel like the six is representing what we produce in the physical, in the nine being what we produce mentally.
Yeah. You're still breaking up. I don't know why. Hold on. But greetings, Jabron.
Greetings, governess. It's me, RTC. I just went by
Yeah.
my name.
I figured by the Malcolm X profile.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Gratitude. You was dropping some good stuff down in the chat. Come on, give it to us. What you were saying?
Um, well, I originally was going off of what you said before because it, obviously connects to a whole lot of what people don't speak on in terms of what the feminine represents on all levels. So when you think of things like the zodiac, the reason I brought up the star card, which is 17, and the strength, which has a woman calming or cooing to a lion, which is 8, which is called the strength. What that originally represents in the tarot, they call the tarot the fool's journey, right? And you usually see a man on a ledge looking over a cliff with a little white dog next to him. That's not the original representation. The dog, the whole Dorothy icon with her and Toto, it's not supposed to be a man, it's supposed to be a woman. That's why they call it fool. And that's why they use the phrase, I may be saying it wrong, but will make wise men fools and fools wise men. What it's talking about is that the circulation of her energy, the circulation of her chi, is the concentration of all chaotic forces, but it's used through movement, which is why the study of the feet is so important. Dance. Why are people stomp? Why are people are loud? Why are people do everything through sound? Isn't necessarily about sound, it's about translation. And so to bring that full circle, what I mean is that using 17 is a frequency evoking 1, creation, and 7, mysticism or mastery. But originally, it has to do with how the woman uses the womb to generate not only life, but the idea of self. So most people in the mystic orders, they believe it to be that the self is masculine and the all is feminine. Now, to a certain point, you could say yes, but that's what people get confused when they think of feminine and masculine. That's why I loved when you brought up Yehuda and Adina, because the masculine is like people mistake it for male. What they don't understand is that her energy is translating feminine and masculine as two sides of that positive force.
Yes. Oh.
So what she's ultimately doing is she's talking to herself back and forth, saying, I see, I hear, I recognize. Okay. And then her other self is saying, well, what do we do with this? We do this. So ultimately what Adina represents, and forgive me before, because I did put in quotes the Badana the last time I was on here when I was talking about the order of the Sibyl. And I put that in quotes because they call it the Mad Donna, the Mad Dog, the Mad God. That's why it's the Madonna. On the other representation, she's the mother of the Donna, the Adonai, the mother of the beast and the mother of the God. So she's the mother of all things.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the journey of the fool because fools are afraid. And if you don't understand your process through this journey, you'll be, consumed by fear instead of exuding faith. And faith and hope and belief, they're not the same thing. Faith is the working energy of translation, which is why the feet are so important, because the feet are the roots of where your neurons get all information. They're the root of where everything circulates and hits the crown immediately. That's why the skin is so important. The skin is the largest organ and gland in and on the body.
First
and
of all,
the body
let me say
is
this to
feminine.
you. Let me show gratitude, because you have made that make sense to me in a way that I did not understand. Because even when I get up out of bed, they probably hear me say it when I'm with Marshall and Aubrey. I'd be like, okay, Yehuda, I hear you. Put your shoes on. Let me put my shoes on. Okay. Because he's like, I'm always on my case, and he loves the feet. And I couldn't understand why that is. But you now made that make sense. Gratitude. Please proceed.
Gratitude to you. Thank you. And that's another thing too, specifically with the sisters in our community, when people talk on them about wearing different styles of shoes and hair, they don't understand what you're doing intuitively. What you're doing is you're wearing your different selves in different facets to allow translation to become much more fluid.
Whoa.
So what that ultimately is showing is that everything about you is information moving in real time, and obviously not time.
Yeah.
Real time in terms of you understanding yourself, you understanding your body. Like you wake up, and with Yehuda speaking to you about your feet, They call it the soles of the crown of your head and the soles of your feet. They say those things for a reason. The soles of your feet are where you transmit every memory you have ever had and ever will have. Now, why is that important? You in the church they used to say, "Order my steps in your word." Order my steps in your word. What people don't understand, and I'm trying to say this without, being all over the place. What people don't understand about Black women. Dick Gregory used to say the most powerful forces in this country, and really in the world, in this country, are Black women, Black church. Well, if you go into a Black church, predominantly it's Black women. And they're the ones, when they say catch the Holy Spirit and doing all this stuff, what they're doing is they're regulating the stream of energy. You see them in their different colored hats. You see them in shoes. They say come as you are, but women come dressed to the nines from a 9 for the reason, if no other than to show that we present ourselves to ourselves. Our word, the world encompassed in the phrase has everything to do with how we perceive ourselves and what we consider this to be time.
Oh, you gotta let them. You gotta let us think on that. You gotta let us sit with that one. Wait a minute.
That was
That
so
was
good.
deep.
Would you say it, Jean Marie?
That was so good.
That was a breakdown of breakdowns.
Even when
just
what
said
he
you
said
wearing
about us
different
dancing in the church, Bobby
hair.
Hemmett had a video about how when we dance, we break different we break curses when we dance. So if we're dressing up and going into these churches, we're basically ceremonially dancing, but when we're in the church, we're not breaking our curses or their curses rather. We're growing their curses when we dance in that space.
Correct, because when you're putting that other entity in front of yourself, your God projected self, you're projecting all of that kind of energy. You're giving it that. You're giving all of that.
That's
But I don't
exactly
think,
why they make him a conduit. Like, oh, you have to get
yes,
God through him.
and you
No.
have to, yes. I don't think y'all understand what this man just said. He said that they wear the big hats, the different color hats. I don't think y'all understand what he just said. Chakras
Magician hats.
and the balancing of the energy through your
Yes,
chakras.
ma'am.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's
Come on, Jenny, before we let Mr. Jabron jump back in here.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
So
Greetings.
I have deja vu every day, all day. I could be going on the road and I could just, it's like, I just did this, but I really haven't done it. But to me, I've done it. In my mind, I've done it. But I wanted to kind of speak on the feet. I've always felt like a connection when, like, I'm outside to take my shoes off. But I think it's something about the feet. It's known as the lotus of the body. And the main way to me to obtain spiritual knowledge, besides listening to you, governess, is the connection that we can get from the ground in our feet. I did some study once, and I didn't know that we had like a chakra in our feet. It's known as the Earth Star, which means that your feet is your root. Like a tree has roots, your feet is the root of the connection to the universe. Not in the house, outside, like touching the grass, touching the dirt, because shoes were created to block your connection. Like the rubber blocks our connection. The feet is always isolated by shoes or socks. That was something created by man, or some type of structure like carpet, tile, concrete. It was always like our feet are more powerful than we think. So I think that's why in a lot of countries we see them washing the feet, kissing
Yes.
the feet.
Yes.
So that's what that
I love
means.
to kiss baby feet. I love it.
Exactly. And they rarely wear shoes in a lot of countries outside. They don't wear shoes. They may wear the sandals, but the feet at the bottom are out because that's your connection to the universe. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's what I think. Um,
Absolutely. I agree.
but I was gonna say something else. I'm at work and I'm trying to do a million things at one time.
It's okay. We're gonna let Mr. Jabron jump right back in here because
Okay.
we had to sit with that one for a second because he said a whole bunch of shit that was amazing
I
out
missed
of
it.
his mouth. Honey. Mm. Mm. Come on in, Mr. Jabron. Am I saying your name
First,
correctly?
gratitude. Gibran. Yes, ma'am.
Gibran.
Thank you. Gratitude. First, gratitude to Jenny, Cosmic Jenny, because that everything that she said is so important to understand to our ancestry on a level as what they call native or indigenous, especially to the Americans. Because to understand that, to understand why you will see black people walk out on bare concrete with no shoes, walk in the snow, do anything like that, and they call us crazy. They call us savage. But to understand that, and yes, she's absolutely right. It wasn't necessarily about connecting to the grass or to the earth to maintain that connection. It was really about maintaining the full circulation of the energy you store up and moving it somewhere else, and first and foremost to Mother Earth. So when we did that, we were just releasing energy, and it was just translating into the world around us to shape the world as it should be. But to speak more on the feminine aspect, and, you know, it's hard in the spiritual community nowadays because everybody always wants to be like, the more you speak on the feminine, the more you're devaluing the masculine and all that crap. But that has nothing to do with it. And everything, your body is feminine. The trees are feminine. Animals are feminine. Everything is feminine because it's the all-encompassing. That's why it's 9. It's a 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 0. The 0 is the Zephyr. The Zari Zephyr is it. The word matrix comes from the maternal machine. See, when people use the term matrix, and this still connects to the feet, I promise I'll go place, but when people use the word matrix, they need to understand that you're talking about two things, not just one. You're not just talking about a mechanical machine that has this trap, which it does, absolutely. But you're talking about the generation of energy into a form, into a picture, into a wilderness. The original matrix has us encompassing all things of life within the womb of Great Mother.
Yes.
And Great Mother is the original matrix. You know, when you talk about, so for instance, when they speak on Jesus and they speak on Mary Magdalene, the Magdalene, the Magdalena originally coming from the term Madonna. The Magdalena, the reason they called her whore, the reason they used that vulgar term, and they'll throw your own truths right in front of you, is because she served in the priestesses, or in the priest orders of the Het Horai, or the Hathor, or the Het Haru. And what that has to do with is basically using the feminine energy in all its facets to perform different structures of life, whether it be resurrection, whether it be the transferring of information, whether it be you donning different forms of yourself. The term whore connects to the war. That's why that's why it's WHORE, because it's world, it's word, it's she's not forgive me, she's not a slut, she's not provocative in that way. She can do any damn thing she wants to be honest, but what it's speaking to is the fluidity of what her body is able to do. And the reason that connects now with this conversation about the feet, what people don't understand is that when it comes to indigenous history in the Americas, the things they did the most is that they branded us many times, physically branded us. And when they branded us, what they were trying to do was incorporate their genetic print to our bodily print. But they didn't just brand us. They raped us. They did all those things. But what they did the most was either bind or mutilate the feet. You have ancestors running all through the ancestral realm with feet cut off, with legs cut off, with all these different things to keep them from moving, to keep them from dancing, to keep them from echoing the memories of their experiences, and not as slaves. People get that twisted. We weren't slaves, prisoners of war. They keep you in that mentality to keep you away from moving forward. Everything is very literal. Everything we do is so literal because we keep it simple. We keep it very simple. Everything we do is literal because what that does is it allows us to take on that information and understand it at such a root level that we're able to do things with each other that we think are so simple it doesn't even make sense. But in reality, it's dynamic, it's ever moving, it's ever producing a wave, you know. But ultimately, right, going back to what the sister Jean Marie was talking about when it came to she's seeing 17. If and I could be wrong, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I'm sure she's been more drawn to your channel as of late with this information. She's probably been here for a while, and if not, she keeps getting drawn back. She's seeing 17 again, having to do with Adina, because that's the pouring of the waters. That's the star card that has to do with information being reintegrated back into the system. So she's going to the person who's the regulatory center of all genetic information on the planet right now, broadcasting to everybody live. You. And I don't mean to step in saying that, pointing that to you.
Gratitude.
But
no, you're
what
absolutely
you are doing,
right. You're absolutely right, because I keep being shown the mother is,
because I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you in a while until the other day.
My son has been sick inexplicably since April, so I haven't really been around. And so that's why I was very intrigued with Miss CC yesterday. We haven't had any of the jabs or anything, but my child, no one can explain what's going on with his body since April. He's been to every specialist, but
You're
it's
breaking up
neurological.
so bad, Jean.
I don't know why. I just try to talk a little louder.
Okay, I can hear that.
But I haven't been around much because my child, his body has been attacked. It's neurological, but nobody do that. Nobody can say why what's happening is happening. So I haven't really been in the chats or anything like that.
If I may, I want to say something real quick because I have to get off in a second. But when she was speaking about something keeps bringing her back to you, and I didn't hear everything else, but I did hear something about 17. And okay, first I'm going to say that you said you'll be 8 on your birthday.
Yes.
So I meant to tell you this, but to me, when I hear the number 17, the 1 to me represents the universe, the God body, the everything, the all. The 7 represents to me insight, intuition, power, being able to see beyond, like through it all. So 7 plus 1, that's 8. 8 is the center that connects everything. It's the connection to everything, the connection, the knowledge to all. So 17 is my number too. But when I started researching the 1 and the 7, which, that's 8. And then, yes, the other day when you said that you'll be 8, I was like, wow. But I wasn't where I could write it down, so I forgot. So I think 8 is like the connection. It's the center of everything, in the know of everything.
It's infinite.
Yes, that.
Absolutely.
So that's what I wanted to say.
So gratitude for that, Cosmic Jenny. Absolutely, I will be 8. I will be infinity. I'll be infinite. you know. But Mr. Gibran had just said something, and it has not registered to me that way until hearing him say it. He said we were branded, and it really just really fucking hit me. I'm not gonna even lie to you. It hit me that when we say that they were branding us, like, damn, y'all, they made us commodity.
Yes.
Like you're branding a product. Your commodity. It never even registered to me that way. You know what I mean?
Do you know that
branded, like, you know?
Yeah.
Spirit showed me a month ago that the representation of how we write the dollar sign is the soul and the spirit. With the spirit being the straight line that slashes through the middle, and the soul being that snake type S, because in other cultures that S means feminine.
I can definitely understand it.
Yeah. I have a question. So when you're saying that we were branded, like mentally, psychologically,
I feel like that's in totality. You're being branded as commodity. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
when they don't put you up on the block as commodity, you're putting yourself up there. That's why I keep saying it's a self-fulfilling seed. All they had to do was plant the seed. So all they had to do was brand you, and you're selling yourself.
Yes.
They don't need to put you back up on a block.
Okay.
Because you're selling yourself. You know what I mean?
That's how powerful we are, and we don't even know it.
But they do.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of it. Greetings, Z Energy.
Greetings.
How are you? We got two great powerhouses, Mr. Gibran and Mr. Energy. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just want to say one thing, man. I love that healing that you was doing in the Majestics. The one you just did recently. I was saying, I said, that's some powerful energy right there. I said, I can't wait till you come to Florida, because it's a lot of healing need to be done throughout the whole land process.
Gratitude, Z. I so appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow. But what you gonna add to it? Because I know you have something to add.
I was just doing a lot of meditation work. I did a lot of quantum healing myself. These eclipses that just passed, and a lot of energy has been like dormanted for a long time. But our planet been receiving a lot of this cosmic energy that's coming into the light and waking everybody up, bringing everybody frequency to a stable level. But my question is to you, governess. We got some more frequencies that's approaching our planet. As far as like the alignment, where do you think, as far as like, is it more of like the council doing, like they sending this energy from different dimensional places, as far as like different beings being involved?
That was your shit yesterday. That was Marcelle's question yesterday. Okay. I gotta quit looking at my feet because they super white, but never mind that. Marcelle just had the same question about the inner beings and the intra beings. So This is the thing. When we're looking at even that's what my whole point was the other day when I was talking about the planets and the cosmos, the galaxies. We're looking at it incorrectly, I believe. By my understanding, my knowing, we're looking at it incorrectly. And the reason why I say that is because we're still leaving out of the point and the part that we are in a simulation.
Yeah.
So everything that is happening, we are allowing it to happen because they are detonating it. Yeah. They're programming it. But if we change our frequency, you remember how there was going to be the volcano that was supposed to erupt and it was going to tear New York up, everything on the east side. And we were telling people, get out from over there, leave that, because this is getting ready to erupt. And then there was one that was coming from the West Coast.
Yeah.
It was going to erupt. And so
Yellowstone.
we began to speak on it.
Mhm.
Once we began to speak on it, people's energy changed. When they energy changed, the frequency changed. Now they cannot put that into the programming because our reality have shifted and we said no.
Oh, okay. So it's just like adjusting. Everything's adjusting according to our energy. Our
Correct.
works. Okay.
Correct. So if we're adjusting and readjusting inside of the frequency of the matrix in which we control, we just don't know we control it. Why do we control it? Because Mother made it. And we are Mother. And so it can't happen. No solar flare can't happen if we say that it can't happen. So that's why the movie Don't Look Up was so important. Because if you don't look up at it, what they mean was don't look at it. Don't acknowledge it. Because if you Melanites acknowledge it, we can't do it. So in the movie, they kept everybody stupid and it's not happening. Oh, yeah, it's not happening. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Until they were able to detonate the bomb and take everybody out. And they showed you how they have a plan to go somewhere else. You still can't escape this prison planet of this system that the mother put you in.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can escape what we don't. They've made us think we can't escape it because they can't escape it. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying to you is their programs, we are the programmers who've gotten stuck.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I can feel that.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That resonates.
Okay. So basically, no solar flare can't hit if we don't allow them to put the program into the system.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change the way we allow this system to run because we're running it. That's why I say it's all they have to do is download the app.
Yeah, there was a big thing about that because they were saying how everything is apps is downloaded into us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All they have to do is download the app, and it could be an app with a virus. And once that virus spread, now you have an infection into the system.
Yes. Okay.
You know? So that's why I always say, upload and download. Take the app out, delete the app, and re-download some shit. I saw that Mr. Gibran had came off the. Come on, Mr. Gibran, what you was gonna say?
I'm just in agreement, full agreement with everything. I wanted to, especially when you were talking about how we keep perceiving things in terms of this being the real world and not understanding that it's simulatory, that everything that we're experiencing is a reflection of what's happening in the real world in real time, but not fully just based upon how we're perceiving it, based upon the information that we're being given. We're being given information by all these random programs, not realizing that we're allowing our computer to be overrun. But at the same time, our computer is allowing this. Great Mother is allowing this. She ain't no fool. Like people don't understand, especially in a woman's house. She's not going to let you into her house if she don't know who you are, what you're doing, and why you came here. That's especially if she put you here. Like I as much fear as much as being done, it is still for a reason to understand that it's being allowed. Yes. Even with the sister yesterday who was on with all the things happening to her internally, all those machines, like it's terrifying, it's scary, but it ain't worth a damn until you realize that she's allowing this to happen. She's allowing you to walk in and get that, and all this. So she can see how your system is going to interact with it and see what she needs to put in place for that to be rerouted. So no matter what they do to you, no matter what you allow to happen to yourself, there is still a greater plan in the works for your system to, yes, be rebooted, but on the real, it's like developing an immune system. When something's introduced, your immune system attacks it if it's foreign. But then it reintegrates it and it allows it to be of use. See, these programs molded us, shaped us to better understand all facets of how positive and negative energy react within us. And so what that means is these fools ain't got no power. They don't have any kind of power. They don't have any kind of input. All they have is the ability to react to what we already put into this system.
That part.
But we keep living based on reactionary measures. We keep thinking, oh, that's scary. Oh, that's terrifying. What are they going to do next? No, fool. What are you going to do next? What are you going to do next?
Yeah.
The most important part, the two biggest presences, I don't care what nobody says right now, the two biggest presences on the internet is the governess and is Rod Hayes, because of what they're doing on two different ends. What he's doing, speaking on you being indigenous to the Americas, is showing you what your original mainframe was purposed to look like and perform and do and what it had rights to. If you keep distancing yourself from the land you come from, the land that you're on, you're distancing yourself from your connection to Great Mother. This is her, it's all her land, but this is her home. This is where she laid the groundwork. Now, yes, this is a simulation, but what's going on the outside? What's happening right now on the outside? One, we're the only ones there on the outside. Two, the only reason this is happening on the inside is because they're trying to get outside, but they can't. It's like, the best way to put it is that when a seed germinates a womb, an egg, right? Her egg chooses a seed. It ain't no sperm, regulating how they can get to a womb quick and decide which one they want, who gets there first. And no, she lets you in. She lets you in, and then she cuts the tail of the sperm off. Now, if you want to think metaphysically, she's cutting every story you done ever had, you done never told, you done never tried to run down off at the door and said, this is how it's going to go. And she allows that to germinate, and she allows it to be birthed. And once it's birthed, it has a divine purpose. You are purposeless until you reach an egg. That doesn't mean you don't matter. It means you can't create matter. So basically, you don't matter. But you can't create anything without her information. You don't have information until she gives it to you. You're nothing but a wisp of smoke, a puff of air that holds no weight. People are like, no, love and light. You got to stay light. You got to get out of here with that. You have to have density. You have to have mass and matter. And the only way you can matter in the masses is if you are with the programmer, not the program. Just like the governess was just saying.
For the people in the back.
That's great.
For the people in the back, what Mr. Walker just said is, I don't care if it's male or female that's in your house. We women choose when and when not to acknowledge some shit. When a motherfucker think they getting over on you with something, you're not getting over because we have not said or checked the situation. It's just because we ain't said nothing. We're letting you breathe, is what he just said. That's all.
Yep.
Child.
That's like a mother's responsibility with her children, because she got to keep her household intact and at the same time redirect her children. Because sometimes children tend to go over different boundaries, but the mother's there to check the children at all times, because she's the one that birthed you in this world. She the one brought you here through this universe. She the one birthed the universe. She the one that gave you life through your body.
That's correct. So when people was offended when I said that the woman was here first,
I don't mind. Because we all got feminine energy in us. Just like he was saying, Walker was saying, we all got feminine energy in us. We came from the feminine.
I'm trying to explain, and people need balance. Of course we need balance. That don't negate what the truth is. Truth is truth.
Yep.
I think the men who get offended by that statement, that truth, are the men who are egotistical. They don't know themselves, and they just lost. Those are the ones that get offended when they hear the truth. But I want to say, before I forget, when I knew how powerful we was, 2 years ago, I was told
my
that
church
I had,
fan that.
I was told I had a blood disease. So they were testing me for all of these things, sending me to all of these specialists. So they sent me to a cancer doctor. That I didn't have cancer. They sent me to lupus. There wasn't any lupus. They never could find out what was wrong with my blood. So I started healing myself with all kinds of herbs, and I started like fasting, detoxing, like using burdock, all kinds of stuff. Mind you, I'm losing weight. I'm looking like I'm sick, but I refused in my mind to accept that I had cancer or lupus or any of that. So I'm just trying to say that they can tell us anything. They can plant that virus. And if you feed into it, it's going to take on a life of itself. It's going to start growing. So I think sometimes we let that overpower what we know, what doesn't feel right to us. Because it didn't feel right to me that I had cancer or lupus. And when I went back to the doctor after detoxing, fasting, I think I fast for I tried to do 14 days. I couldn't go 14, but there was nothing wrong with me. So we are so powerful. We don't know it because we stuck. We sleep. And for the people that think the governess is whatever y'all think she is, I don't know what that crap is. But last year, you don't even know this governess. You called me and you were like, I haven't heard from you. The spirit just told me to reach out to you and check on you. I didn't even tell you what I was going through or what was wrong with me. But by you calling me and giving me that energy through the phone, I got up out of my bed, took a shower, I got back to my normal self. I was down for like 2 weeks. I was so depressed and I was just in a place. I don't know. I think I was thinking about my niece, the niece that we lost in 2019. So I was just down, but by you calling me and that energy that I felt like coming from a genuine place, it got me up. So for the people that think you're whatever they think you are, I don't even want to put that out there, but they full of shit. Because I know like without you even saying anything, I know what it does for people. And your teachings, some of us, we would still be so lost without your teachings. That's why they attack you. That's why they keep coming for you, because they know you are the truth. They know you are everything, all. So that's all I gotta say. I gotta go back to work before I get fired.
Gratitude.
But I love you guys, and this was
Love you as well.
amazing. What's his name? I can't see. I'm on my phone.
Which Mr. Gibran?
With Malcolm X.
Yeah, Gibran.
Yeah. I really enjoyed.
I was saying Gibran for the first half hour. It's not. It's Gibran.
Everybody up here, I salute you all. Everybody up here, and I hope you all have a great day. I gotta go, and governess, we will speak later.
Okay. Gratitude, Miss Cosmic Jenny.
Gratitude, peace, love you all.
Okay.
Governess, can I read something to you?
Yes.
I sent it to you a while back, but I just want to make sure you hear this because people in over the last couple weeks have been bringing up the Sibyls. And I don't know if you know, but the Sibyls were melanated prophetesses who originally held the papal seat of the world.
Yeah,
and they
people
were
sent me information on that.
So I wanted to show you this passage. It says, they will say that the Sibyl is mad and deceitful, but when all things shall come to pass, then you will remember me, and no one will any longer say that I, the prophetess of the great goddess, am mad. And that's by the Sibyl of Babylon. And it's like it makes me think of you. because people want to call
Gratitude.
you everything. But eventually they will see you weren't crazy, you weren't, capping, you were the Sybil.
Listen, I appreciate that. I really do. And when somebody had asked me the other day, I had not never heard of the Sybil. And so a few people had sent me some information on who they were. And I read it. And so I have that understanding now of who they were. Um, just extra information. And so I so appreciate that, Jean Marie, for even sharing that. And I appreciate your kind words. I know, Z Energy, I saw your hand go up and went immediately back down. But I
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
was letting
hear
the
what
goddess
you
speak.
had to say.
Yeah, but that's dealing with the mommy Wata store with the civils.
Your question,
Yes,
you
sir.
answered, Jean, because
Yep.
I don't.
Yes.
Mm, yeah, I was reading up in that too as well about the seven civils. Yeah.
And they were usurped by patriarchal rulers who didn't no longer they no longer wanted them to be the heads of state, the
Yeah.
representatives of goddess,
Mm-hmm.
but they ran everything.
If I may, if it's all right, I'm just speaking gratitude. What Sister Jean Marie, thank you for that gratitude. That was it's been very difficult trying to encompass what it is that the feminine energy in all her facets represents and does and continues to do throughout all realms. And to understand that and to be able to speak on that and to have a platform like this where it can come alive in y'all is so important. It's more important than people realize. People, even in the spiritual community, they don't realize what that is and what that generates. The Sibyls, there were so Sybil comes from the goddess Sybil, who had many names. She was likened to Gaia. She was likened to many, and it's still Mother Adina. It's still Mother Adina. She's the first Sybil, and the what ultimately what they're doing right now. The Sybil, if you the best way I can explain it, from my point, from just in terms of watching and reading and understanding things on a different level. When you think of like the Jedi, right? When you think about their presences in those stories across the cosmos, they regulated it to one galaxy, but they regulated to one galaxy because, again, like the governors were speaking on the galaxy, just my understanding is Earth, is the many ring systems of Earth. In whatever shape you want to call it, it is the systems of Earth. That is one galaxy in space. What they are priestesses of a number of people don't even understand, that cover the cosmos and that regulate all structures of imperial systems across the universe under one empire, which is the mother. Now, when you talk about what the Sibyls were represented in antiquity, in the ancient days of what they did, and why there was a Sibyl to every city, why every city had to, it was mandatory that a city had a Sibyl reign over it, no matter the king and queen aspect of it. And again, those aren't even the right names to call them, king and queen, but under those aspects of them and what they were doing, it was a link throughout time. And again, it's not the best word for it, but throughout space time, for them to connect to the root, the mother tree, the mother ocean. And the reason why that's so powerful now is talking about the feet, is talking about 17 and 8, the 44 frequency, the dual aspect of the mother. The reason why this is all coming to a head in this time period is because what's happening now is that she is reintegrating a system as to where she's declaring Sibyls of different generations to come forward. We all of us here in this simulation are only one fraction of all of us that exist in the cosmos. This is just one grouping of us now, albeit this is the oldest grouping that exists here on this planet. This is the oldest grouping of all the aspects of us across the cosmos. But the reason we were here is because we were regulating a program that got a little too high stepping for itself, that started to try and recode itself. And to understand the importance of that is to also understand, again, on the other half of what people like Rod Hayes are talking about. When you think of white people, when you think of genomes, when you think of them in that aspect, those are still people being used for those doing different works on the other side. There are people that look just like us that are at the head of what's going on throughout the entirety of this terrible system. It was a civil war. It was a civil war that was going on. Never mind that North and South crap. This was a civil war that has been going on for a long time, and it is over. It is over. This is the last battlefield. The first battlefield is the last battlefield for all of this, and it will not require what has been done before to end it. But the most important fact about that I cannot stress enough is regarding the mothers of these orders, the mothers of creation. This was about them. This was about facing those other aspects of ourselves, specifically the opposites. A wall was broken between realms, where opposites, if you want to think of them, it's not necessarily just patriarchy. They're beings who are our opposites. They're beings who appear to be female and are male biogenetically, and who appear to be male and are female biogenetically. That's what all this transhumanism, all of this is centered around that. It is about beings who are trying to restructure our system as we understand it to put themselves into power. But you still need a divine feminine in order to do that. You still need her to finalize the code. And the one of the few that they cannot break is right here. The center mainframe of all of it. She's right there. That's why I caught that podcast from months ago when Rod Hayes was just like, I was just waiting for you to tell me what to do. And it's not necessarily a verbal acknowledgement. It's being in your presence, it's downloading the information and moving forward with that. Like we move by her word. It's called mask, Uline, for a reason. We are the different faces that she wore and gave name and purpose to each. And so when we developed the masculine energy, we were the different facets, the different colors of that rainbow. It doesn't mean we're not real. It doesn't mean we don't matter. It means we were outfitted for specific purposes. The opposites do not have masculine and feminine qualities. And in universal standards, that's impossible. That means you don't exist because they're shadows, they're reflections. Do not be fooled by shadows and reflections as to appear to be the real thing. They are not. No matter what they've done to you physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It only matters if you allow it to. That's what this reboot is about. That's what, and not speaking on your purpose, but that's part of what the governess is doing. She is reworking the information. Information is power. As Dick Gregory would say, money is not power, education is not power, information is power. Information is more important than water. You need information to find where the water is. This is what this is doing. It is the living code being restructured within us. That is that.
Yeah, I'm finna say the war of the mind. You know, they had they've been manipulating the mind for so long. They learned everything from us, and they turned our own energy against us. And they've been working, trying to learn us, as in the DNA. They're trying to learn these codes. They trying to, what makes us so powerful? What makes us so better than them? What makes us so special? They try to learn everything according to the universal cosmic laws. They try to learn everything about us, everything that make us run this whole matrix simulation.
Absolutely.
So the power that we have and that we generate for like ages and ages and generations, they learned the power of manipulation, and they use that so well, and they learned it, but they got to get it from somewhere. You know what I mean? So if we was that great for them to take our power, and for us to come back and redefine everything, we need the divine feminine energy to wake us up. Why is they still trying to hold on to all? Why is they still trying to hold on?
Have you ever seen the the Transformer, the new one, the Beast and the whatever it is. I went to see that, and in that movie, they're looking for, just like in the Marvels movie. And I got to wrap it up, y'all. I'm so sorry because I forgot. I got reservations, but in these 2, 3, 4, 5 movies of the Marvels and the Guardians of the Galaxies and Transformers, they're always looking for the keys because they need all of the keys, and they need all of the crystals, and they need all of these things to make whatever they're trying to do, whatever they're trying to be, make this shit happen, right? And so even when you say Z Energy, you say they need the codes. What I want everybody to take away from this is they're looking for the key codes inside of your DNA, your genetic being to formulate. That's why I say we are all the pieces, which they show in Lucy, the black sludge, whatever that is, all of the pieces, how she spread herself. And that's what it is the key codes of the genes, the genetic DNA, because that's what they're looking for. So they can to recreate the soul, and they can't.
That's crazy. Ooh.
Ever.
And
in order for them to do that, because they want to become the Adina. And if you ever watch Steven's Universe, that's exactly what you'll see. When you see all of these different things, that's what they're trying to do. They'll put a genome woman in the head of it. Even if you watch the Never Ending Story, the little girl, she didn't have a name. She needed the name so they didn't go to the nothingness, because that's exactly what it is. They needed her name. It wasn't until Belly Belcon came through my vessel and said her name is Intranet. Then we got the understanding of, oh, we are a conglomerate of personalized communication that they cannot intercept. So even when I did my class the other day on the ritual, when you speak into your mind, that's why they tell you, say it out your mouth. They don't have, they're not part of the intranet. So what they did was create the internet. So you'll put all your fucking thoughts upon this thing here, because they can't get into here to intercept it. So you can speak it, you can type it on their internet, this is their Adina. They can't have it on the interpersonal level like we do.
That Bluetooth kind of like Wi-Fi signal.
Because that's what the intranet is. So that's why anything they do is a mockery. It's a mockery. So this is how they feel like they're trumping. And they can't ever trump her because they can't catch up with her. She's too quick, too swift, too fast, too many places, too vast, too multidimensional to ever catch. By the time they thought of the thought, she was already 2,500 steps before them. They can never catch up with all of the key codes. So when I say they're searching in the spirit to try to find the hidden jewels, the crystal beings, whether they're the indigos, because that's what the new stimu check is for the indigos. If you haven't seen it, when I did the world reading and I said there's a new stimu check coming out.
Snyder Act.
You know what I'm saying?
Snyder Act.
To fuck you up. There is for the indigos. Why would it be for the indigos?
I thought it was a trap because it's too good to be. It's too good to be turning down. You know what I'm saying? 11,000 a month, 11,000 a month, 25 a week. It seemed like a trap.
Because it is. They're looking for DNA, no matter what it looks like. They're looking for the key codes in the DNA, and all
that's what they were talking about. The blood work.
Right here. They take vials and vials of blood from people. For what? When all you need is a drop.
Damn.
They're feeding on you. They're feeding. They're feeding the system. They're feeding the beasts. They're feeding off your knowledge. That's why they want all of these different things. They need you on this internet.
I knew it.
Feed them.
I knew it.
And that's what the bottom line is, y'all. I got to go. I show appreciation for everybody for coming up and sharing your knowledge. Gratitude, Jean Marie.
Love you, governess.
G Energy, Cosmic Jenny, and Jose. I so appreciate y'all for coming up. I so hope that we can do this again. You'll come back and we'll do some more knowledge and bring your knowledge. Miss Tanika, next time you putting 1,000 chats in my chat when I say come up, that's what I mean, Miss Tanika. If you cannot, you said you have all these different things going on, that means you still come up. Because you can sure activate and put it in my chat. You're teaching about certain things that I'm watching you do. You're still making references as if we believe in the Jesus character and we do not. So I asked over here that if you have something to share, you come up and you share it. I show gratitude. Have a good night, y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Gratitude, governess.
Gratitude.